Napoleon is absolutely adorable. This was released in 1995. It's directed by Mario Andreacchio, and I apologise if I've mispronounced that. And it's written by Andreacchio, Michael Borchier, and Mark Saltzman. And this is an Australian film with an Australian cast. And then they did the voices. It's about a dog called Napoleon. I'll talk more about that in a moment. But then we also have an American voice cast. Why? I don't understand. If anybody knows why that decision was made, please let me know. Obviously, when you have a foreign film, it makes perfect sense to have an English voice cast. But to have an American voice cast when it was an Australian film, I don't really understand it. But on the plus side, having the American version meant that we have Carole Kane, and it's actually because of Carole Kane that I became aware of this and wanted to watch this. But to be fair, even if I discovered it randomly, I still would have watched it. The film is about a dog who's actually called Muffin, which is the cutest name ever for this little fluffy puppy. But he wants to be called Napoleon, and he dreams of big adventures. And then one day, while there's a birthday party for some humans, he climbs into this basket that has balloons on it, and the basket floats away with Napoleon, well, Muffin, and takes him on this big adventure. And I won't say too much about what happens, but he travels a good distance, he meets a lot of different characters, a lot of different animals, and it kind of in a way feels like, because there are very few humans, and we do hear the voice of the character, it kind of sounds like a Winston Heifler Disney documentary, which I absolutely love. They are so great. And it has a really similar feel to that. And I really enjoyed that. It maybe is a little slow at times, but if you like these kind of almost documentary nature style films where you just have an animal doing its thing, and obviously with the Disney documentaries, they crafted a narrative around the footage because you can't really control wild animals. I'm assuming that they put the dog into specific situations to fit the narrative. I could be wrong. Maybe they created a narrative around the dog's actions, but either way, if you like that kind of thing, I think you'll really thoroughly enjoy this. But it does also mean that it's maybe not the strongest narrative. It's a little slow at times, but it still works really well. There's still a lot of substance. We have some really gorgeous footage, really beautiful to look at. It gets a little emotional at times, so if you don't like sad animal films, that's worth bearing in mind. For the most part, I wouldn't call it a sad animal film, but there are just a couple of occasions where it's a little bit heavier. And in general, if you like sweet dog films, then Napoleon is definitely worth watching. I can't comment on the Australian version, but I can say that the voice acting in the American version is great. Carole Kane voices the spider, and we have a lot of other animals as well, and Napoleon is voiced by Adam Wylie. And the voice fits the character as well. I think that's really important. Something I've mentioned before, and I'm sure I'll mention again, is that I don't like it when dogs speak when there are humans in the film. I just find it to be so annoying. But obviously there are very few humans in this one, so I don't mind the fact that the dog speaks, and I do think the voice fits the dog quite well. So, all things considered, I thought Napoleon was an adorable film. I'm really glad I had a reason to watch it, that reason being Carole Kane. And if you like cute, fluffy dogs with fun stories, and specifically if you like the Winston Heifler Disney documentaries, then I'd say Napoleon is absolutely one that's worth watching.